Namaskar. Welcome to this session. Now we are going to take up the understanding of Panchabhautika Samskara Vaasana Vritti. The Panchamahabhutas are always in our manifestations, whatever manifestation, whatever life form, the Panchamahabhutas are never set aside. So the Panchamahabhutas are something with which our psyche is always, in a soaked condition. And therefore there are certain vasanas and samskars which are in a way Prakrutik Samskars, that is coming from Prakruti. The mahabhutas, the trigunas, they give us a set of or kind of samskars and vasanas. So this is what is something that we have to look in. All our embodiments are of Panchamahabhutas, quintiplicated 5 elements. Any manifestation, any life form is with the help of quintiplicated Panchamahabhutas called panchikaranam. And they are not only in the body but they are also in the mind. It is because of the samsarga. It is because of the association, and it is because of the interference. So Panchamahabhutas interfere with our psychic aspects. So therefore there are certain tendencies, vasanas and samskars, which have this influence of Panchamahabhutas. So just now the mention was of panchikaranam, and this was explained earlier. Anyway, with reference to context, it needs to be reiterated. The entire manifest creation is panchikruta, that is quintiplicated. The space above the head, which is blue sky, is only 50% of element of space, and 50% is shared by other 4 elements. So they are 12.5% each. So 12.5, 12.5, 12.5, 12.5, 50. This is how it is accounted for 100% of that matter. The ocean, which is full of waters, has only 50% of element of water, and other 50% is shared by other 4 elements in the proportion 12.5 each. So is the case of any earthen manifestations such as rock, boulder, sand. It is only 50% element of earth, and other 50% elements are shared by other 4 elements. So is the case of fire, flame of fire. The flame is only 50% element of fire, and it is shared by other 4 elements, 50%, 12.5% each. So is the case of Vayu. So Prithvi, Aptej, Vayu, Akash, in quintiplication, they only have 50% of their share, and other 50% is shared by other 4 elements invariably. And that is what metaphysics describes as panchikaranam or quintiplication. But the point is that all matters therefore exist in all matters, and this view is now taken up by a modern science called ecology, and it says all matters exist in all matters. Now, with reference to our own body, the Sharirikopanishad describes the 5 elements in our embodiment. It tries to describe the Prithivyansha, that is element of earth in our embodiment, Apansha, element of water that is there in our embodiment, then Tejansha, that is the element of Teja, element of fire, how it manifests in our embodiment. So also there is Vayavyansha, the aspect of Vayu and gaseous matter in our embodiment, and Akashansha, the spatial matter in our embodiment. So Upanishad describes each of these aspects: Prithivyansha, Apansha, Tejansha, Vayavyansha, Akashansha. And that is worth taking note of. So those who are studious, they should look into that Upanishad called Sharirikopanishad, which describes how the 5 elements constitute our embodiment, what aspects of our embodiment constitute what element and which element. And therefore the Deha, the body, is called Panchabhautika. But in our common man's parlance also we are used to certain expressions, such as say somebody getting air in the head. That is superiority complex, megalomania. So one who has ego, pride, arrogance, it's a common expression that air has got into the head. So Vayu, that's Vayu. Now there is also expression such as my brain is inflamed, for anger. When somebody is angry, over exasperating, we say that the brain has caught fire. So also sometimes with reference to mind, there are expressions in certain languages, particularly vernacular languages, that when the mind is totally devastated, then the expression is the mind has become water. And sometimes we say, when a bad news is to be broken, we say make your mind like a boulder and listen to the news that is coming to you. So for courage, we bring the stone in the mind. For dearth of compassion, we bring the stone in the mind. Somebody having not even a iota of compassion, we say there is stone in the mind, or the mind has become stone. So the 5 elements are also referred to with our embodiment, with the states of our mind. So also we sometimes say somebody is stone-headed. What is stone-headedness? That's a doltishness. So stupidity. Now stupidity is said to be stone-headedness. Now stone is manifestation of element of earth. So with reference to our mind matters, we often bring the predicate, which is characteristic of elements. The mind became stone, mind melted, the brain caught fire, heart is burning, or heart has frozen. So, these are all expressions or predications of elemental manifestations. So, even in our common man's parlance, we bring these expressions which have something to do with the five elements, namely Prithvi, Aptej, Vayu, Akash. So, the five elements are also referred to the state of body or state of mind. The body is like stone or like diamond. The mind is like diamond, or the mind has melted. So these are all expressions which are with reference to Panchamahabhutas. So just to list few of those: intelligence and stone, mind and stone, mind and metal. So we say somebody with iron mind. So what is iron? It is element of earth. Or emotional stone, that is lack of emotion, emotionlessness, is stoniness of the heart. Or the mind and intellect inflamed, or the mind becoming like wind, hurricane of mind, tempest of mind, ahankar melting. Now what is it that which melts? Or ahankar evaporates. Which matter evaporates? Or ego dissolved. What dissolves in what? Mind and intellect getting frozen. Emotions getting frozen. So expression of frozen comes with reference to what matter. So the point is, we can accept and we should accept that the elemental characteristics are also there in the mind. So that is why I said in the beginning that we have been going through several manifestations, incarnations, avatars, and whenever we have an embodiment, it is invariably Panchabhautika. So the touch and contact and association with elements are ever there. And now since they are ever there, we do pick up certain tendencies because of these elements. Prarabdha Vashat, that is because of our destiny, we get what is called as Swabhava Vaishishtyam. So sometimes we are rock-minded people because of our destiny, and sometimes our mind is like water because of destiny. Or so there can be heaviness or lightness as nature of the mind. Like the mind can be like butter, the mind can be like diamond. Now butter is elemental manifestation, diamond too is earthen manifestation. So the element of earth is not just solidity, but there are certain characteristics of element of earth. which metaphysics describes. And one of those is called Gurutvam, heaviness. So also Ashrayadayakatvam, that is to be supportive. Audaryam, magnanimity. Abhedyatvam, unpierceability. And then firmity, strongness. So we do have such characters in our psyche, consciousness and embodiment. Sometimes we are tolerant, exceptionally. Now that is quality of element of earth. So some body of defects and merits, or qualities and demerits, positive or negative qualities, are always in our embodiment, to the body, to the mind, etc. So this is because of an elemental arrangement in our body-mind matters. So the point is, Karunyam is element of earth. Audaryam is element of earth. Kathinyam is element of earth. Gurutvam is element of earth. Similarly, the element of water, element of the Aptattva rather, there are certain predicates to human characteristics such as Sheetalata or Mulayamata. Mulayam means softness. Sheetalata means soothe. Tadatmya bhavam, that is nature to become one. Satmya bhava, to become identical. Samvedana shilata, sensitivity. Snigdhata, friendliness. Pravahi, nature, that is to nature to flow. So qualities such as dampness of emotions, dampness of mind. So these things are element of water, and they do work on our nature. The Agni manifests in the form of Kama, Krodha. Both are fires. Then mercurial mind and intelligence are also of element of fire. Intellectuality, it is also fire. So also haughtiness of the mind is element of fire. So also the brightness and effulgence, it is fire. Chaitanyam, animated condition, is again fire. So element of fire also appears in our characteristics and in our very nature. The Vayu is marked by its dryness. So we also have dryness in our characteristics, dry mind, dry psyche consciousness. So also chanchalyam, fugitivity, there is also element of air. Unsteadiness, flickering nature, oscillating nature, is again because of the influence of element of air. Asthairiam, instability, or the Vayu also sometimes manifests by what we call as turbulent personality. And therefore, in our destiny, the element of the air as well is participating in a unique way. The Akasha is known for its vast unlimitedness, amaryadata, bhavyata, so also audaryam, magnanimity, samya drushti, sarva samavishtatvam, bheda bhavarahityam, shantata, nirmalata, akrupanada. All these are elements of Akasha. So the Akasha is also something which influences our mind, psyche, consciousness. So we can also identify how elemental characteristics influence our mind and mind stuff. And that is why there is something which is said here, that the vasanas having bearing with the elements and samskars which are having bearing with the elements are also to be traced in embodiment. And by panchatattva kriya, these elements are managed and they are toned and tuned for proper manifestation of our life. So we inherit these vasanas and samskars and vrittis even from element. This is the point that we need to take note of. And in this session, I wanted you to understand this. The Annamaya Kosha, which is our manifest existence, the Annamaya Kosha has all the 5 elements in it. The Annam, what nourishes us, is the 5 elements. And the Annamaya Kosha also accepts something that is called as tendencies of the flesh, subconscious tendencies, and the elements can be traced here. But Pranamaya, Manomaya Koshas, you won't trace elements there. But however, in our transmigration, the elements are always accompanying factors with us. And that is why our psyche is always drenched, soaked in 5 elements. And that is why these elemental aspects of vasanas do come in, and that's why we typically manifest. Such as somebody might be having angry nature, exasperatory nature, fiery nature. Fiery nature means immediately element of fire. Magnanimity, element of earth. So also exalted magnanimity is element of ether. Dampness, receptivity, sensitivity, they are element of water. So in our psychoanalysis of our various characteristics of the mind and mind stuff, we should develop a habit of identifying how they are related to 5 elements. So 5 elements are best described in metaphysics, and we have also already discussed with 5 elements in our body, how do they manifest, how the body matter, embodiment matter has 5 elements in us. So that is why there are certain samskars and vasanas which are finding roots in 5 elements. So these 5 elements are again tuned, and for their tuning there is mention of panchatattva kriyas in asana, pranayam and dhyana. The lam is the bija mantra, and with the help of bija mantra, the lam, the element of Prithvi, will be managed in the process of yoga, asanas, pranayamas, dhyanam, and what you call as meditations. There are also mudras, panchatattva mudras, which are hand gestures, and there is Prithvi mudra. There is Ap mudra, Tej mudra, Vayu mudra, Akasha mudra, which is given by the tantras and which are also incorporated in yoga. So they will work on earth manifestation, such as bija mantra, using the bija mantra of Prithvi, the lam, the class of prana kriyas and the class of tattva kriya, lo, la, li, lu, le, lai, lo, lau, lam, laha are the prana kriyas, and the lam, lam, lim, lom, lem, laim, lom, laum, laham are the 9 tattva kriya letters. So there are Prithvi tattva kriyas which can be used in various different confinements in our pranayams, and therefore we can set right the Prithvi tattva in that location, of that location, and generally in the embodiment. So there are Prithvi tattva kriyas. Then there are Vayu tattva kriyas, bija mantra being Vam. Again there are set of 9 prana kriyas and 9 tattva kriyas. Va, va, vi, vu, ve, vai, vo, vau, vam, vo, vau, vaha are the prana kriyas. Then vam, vam, vim, vum, vem, vaim, vom, vaum, vaham are the tattva kriyas. So these are used in yoga technology in asana and pranayam called Vayu, the up kriya. And the up kriya will tune, fine tune, organize element of water in various segments. Then comes the Agni tattva, the Ram, bija mantra, and then of course the class of prana kriyas and tattva kriya. They would work for tuning, fine tuning, arranging, setting right the element of fire. Then comes the element of Vayu, Yam, again with the set of prana kriyas which are 9, tattva kriyas which are 9. In pranayam they work on handling, managing, arranging the element of space properly. And then of course Akasha with Hum. So one is very familiar with Pancha Tattva Kriyas in Asana and Pranayam. Why for? Are they there? They are to set right the Pancha Tattva Vrittis, Pancha Tattva Vasanas, Pancha Tattva Samskars. With the help of technology of yoga, the Tantra of yoga, the Uddiyana Kriya, Uddiyana Mudra, Kapalbhati, Agnisar, and then pranayamas, asanas and pranayamas would work in attending to the Panchatattvas. So yoga implies that Panchatattva management. That means Panchatattvas are influencing the Chitta. So therefore one can understand how the samskars and vasanas are there, which find roots in 5 elements and which therefore needs to be reformed, rearranged in classical yoga. So point is that there are vritti, vasana, samskars in relation to Panchatattvas. Wherefore we have Panchatattva Kriyas and Panchatattva Pranayamas Panchatattva Dhyana. So with that, we really come to the end of topic of samskars and vasanas. It might seem to be going overboard, roundabout way, but it is very much part of study, because we are dealing with vasanas and samskar. Samskar sakshat karanat is the subject matter of the sutra, support of the sutra, and therefore we delineated on the samskars and vasanas. So with that, we conclude the 5 elements and samskars and vasanas. Perhaps with this we can end the topic of samskars and vasanas. So namaskar all.